What's happening, guys? How are y'all doing? And welcome to Luxe Life. Rolex has been a titan in the world of watchmaking for as long as we can remember and is admired all around the world. If you're looking to buy a Rolex, then instead of thinking of it as getting your hands on just an expensive watch, you should look at it as getting a piece of art in your possession, as every watch that Rolex makes is nothing short of a unique and unequal timepiece. So without any further ado, let's have a look at the most popular Rolex models for men in 2022. Number 7. Rolex Submariner.
To face the unpredictable and unlock the mysteries that await beyond.
If you're looking for a more traditional piece, then the Rolex Submariner is your go-to option. This is without a doubt one of the best Rolex watches you can put your money in. This watch set is a whole new standard for diving watches when it first came out back in 1953, as it was the first wristwatch to ever be made, which was waterproof down to 100 meters in depth, making most people view it as a symbol of both exploration and victory. With the technical advancements since the 50s, Rolex has also added some new features which have helped to improve the functionality, accuracy, and overall quality of the watch, along with a few aesthetic changes here and there over the decade, like the small changes made to its iconic oyster case. But if you're thinking that this may have tainted the classic look and feel of the Rolex, then well, you're wrong, because this watch embodies more or less everything that Rolex has to offer. Number 6. Rolex Submariner Hall Green, dial 116610LV. One of the best Rolex watches you can get your hands on this year is none other than the Submariner Hall, which was put on the market back in 2011 and was a replacement for its legendary predecessor, which was the Kermit. This newer model is the very first Submariner, which is available with a dial the color of which is neither blue nor black, as is with other Submariners if you're wanting to get an innovative watch on your wrist. This watch is what you should be looking at. One more reason why this Rolex would be a good buy for men is that it was a limited edition, which has been discontinued as of right now, and therefore you won't be able to buy it first-hand from Rolex itself, but you could get it pre-owned from another place. The fact that it's discontinued means that its value has skyrocketed, as the value of all limited edition items is. Number 5. The Rolex Black Date Sub 116610LN and 126610LN. The reason this watch is on our list of the best Rolex watches to buy in 2022 is because of its sleek traditional look, as well as master-tier contemporary engineering. This watch is a real thing of beauty, with its long-lasting luminescence, a polished case which is resistant to corresponding, and 18-karat white gold hands. Its aesthetic is both elegant and modern, and would look incredible on any man's wrist during both adventurous activities and formal engagements alike. But maybe, just maybe, its rival, the newly released 126610LN, would be the better watch for one to invest in, with its slightly bigger case being about 41mm and thinner lugs. In our opinion, this watch looks a whole lot more refined than the watch we just talked about, but hey, to each his own, right? Number 4. Rolex Blue Dial Mixed Gold Submariner 116613LB. For people who are looking for more than just a steel watch and would love to get a watch which is a combination of both steel and gold, then the Rolex Blue Dial Mixed Gold Submariner is just what you need. The bulky super case of this Rolex would be more noticeable on your wrist than other watches. Big muscular watches used to be quite the trend a decade or two ago, which was something that Rolex also catered to, but as the trend changed, so did Rolex, making many people think that Rolex succumbed to peer pressure, so to prove those people wrong, Rolex put out this watch, a watch which holds onto the 40mm Submariner directions, but apparently also seems to stand out quite a lot more, which is most certainly due to its angular and chunky aesthetic. Number 3. Rolex Daytona. We can say with full confidence that the Rolex Daytona is for sure the best, if not one of the best Rolexes that men can buy in 2022. It's without a doubt the most well-known Rolex around, so if you're looking to invest your precious money into a Rolex without knowing a whole lot about watches, then this one is a very good option. But here's the catch though. It's not easy to get your hands on one of these bad boys, but if by some chance you do manage to get one at retail price, then you'll be in for a world of profit because you'll be able to sell it for nearly double the price you bought it for. Another thing that makes this watch so special is that it was launched back in 1963 as a chronograph design piece made to cater to the taste of the motor racing industry. The primary purpose of a Daytona used to be that it allowed drivers and pit crew to accurately calculate and record average racing team and elapsed times. The popularity of this watch also went through a big boost after the famous actor and racing enthusiast Paul Newman was seen wearing it on many different occasions after receiving it as a specially commissioned variant of the watch as a gift from his beloved wife. To this day, the demand for the Rolex Daytona is off the charts, so you should always have this watch as an option in the back of your head. Number 2. Rolex Air King. Something that not many people know about the company Rolex is that it was founded in the 1920s in London before migrating to Geneva. When Rolex put out the Air King on the market in 1945 as a tribute to British pilots in the Second World War, they knew about this fact. When the Air King first made an appearance, it was one of the very few Rolex models that had the same size since its inception, and it was designed in such a way that it was easy for pilots to look at while flying at high altitudes. You may be thinking that this particular feature is kinda useless today, and well, you're not entirely wrong, but the Air King's flashy black on white face and solid looking numbers make it an absolute wonder. This watch is also an Oyster Perpetual. Rolex models that are classified as Oyster Perpetual are seen as some of the more easily affordable options for people, and as a result of this watch is quite a common piece in the collection of Rolex enthusiasts or people who like to wear watches in general, and nearly all of them hold this watch in high regard. Number 1. Rolex Day Date. The Rolex Day Date was released in 1956 and has been known ever since for its sophisticated design. Many people were taken aback because of the watch's ability to show the person wearing it not just a time, but also the date and the day. These days, this watch is available in many different colors and styles, such as the 18-karat yellow gold. This watch is also known by some people as the President Bracelet because of its close relation to aristocracy. The casting of this wristwatch is a whole 40 millimeters in diameter and also has a gold bezel with elegant flutes. The Day Date also has a dial which has the color of fresh champagne with diamond accented hands and hour markers. This marvelous watch is also powered by the self-winding 3255 caliber movement powers, and due to its extraordinary level of comfort, it's considered as a watch that many men prefer to wear on almost all occasions. This brings us to the end of our video. Do be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already if you want to see more of these types of videos on your feed. And don't forget to press that bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content in the future. Until next time, take care and goodbye.